funk, thoughts deep, boys steeped in the depths that he sunk. Big stress, depressed in the middle of fall. Sky gray, I late in the thick of it all. I wonder, how long can a human survive just staying alive or carrying the rest of the tribe? Waiting for the day to arrive or struggling dies, and I be doing way, way more than getting by. So why? Cop myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Hey, cop myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Eyes realize life is so much more than just living the day. Every day I can sit and reflect and breathe and connect to myself and know that I've been given. See, giving up is not an option. So when I'm looking at gray skies, I'll be adopting a new way to deal with a test. Lord, relieve me of stress to bring me looking like we're blessings dropping. And so I got myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Hey, here we go. Yeah. Let's do this. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. In times of test, let no harm beset me, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. In times of test, let no harm beset me, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Woo.
Salute, everybody. Salute. Happy Thursday to you. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the podcast today. I am Urban. Um, Today I'm talking about something a little bit different from my normal content that I've been putting out lately. I want to talk about this because I know that it could potentially affect a lot of content creators. Content creators such as us YouTubers, TikTokers, any content creator that's on a social media platform, this particular thing that I'm going to talk to y'all about today, it could potentially affect y'all. All right. So without further ado, let's go and jump into this topic because I don't want to be very long talking about this on either. But let's go and jump into this. All right. So, couple of days ago, if y'all was paying, if anyone y'all's paying attention to um any type of politics that was going on, preferably in the White House, the House of Representative, all that good old stuff, right? President Biden had recently passed a new law. This new law is in contrast to talking about independent contractors and gig workers. Okay, so before I go into details explaining to y'all about this law and stuff, right? Let me share this with y'all. Now, um, I consider myself as a part-time gig worker or part-time independent contractor. All right. So what do urban mean about that? It means that at times, I do get gigs and stuff, right? At times, I do get like gigs where it'd be like supplemental income for me. Okay. For example, I at times I do DoorDash where I'll be delivering food to people. I do like other apps like grocery delivering app services as well too, where essentially I'm going to certain stores like Target or whatever, right? And I go and grocery shop on behalf of my potential clients. Okay, so I do these type of independent contract work, or as they call gig work, right, as a supplemental income. Now I'm gonna be real with y'all. Well, when I do this type of income, it do come in the clutch for real. It really do. It comes in the clutch, especially like during this past holiday season. When it was Christmas and all this stuff coming around, and had to pay for all these expenses like getting Christmas gifts, Christmas dinner, and all this other stuff that my main income could cover, but I don't want to be behind on bills. So I use these type of gigs as supplemental income so it can cover these type of additional expenses, especially like say for example if if me or Mrs. Urban vehicle were to break down for any type of reason, this type of supplemental income will compensate for that. Um, well, what if me and Mrs. Urban or one of the kids get sick and we have to pay for medical bills? That supplementary income will compensate for that. Another one complement other ones income that I do besides the one I mentioned is I also part-time on DJ as well too, if those of y'all don't know. And so I do a part-time DJ thing with with people that I know so forth, where they would pay me for gig work. Okay. So I have did all these different ones, like I stated, DoorDash, um, doing groceries, DJing. All of these that I mentioned are considered as being an independent contractor or as gig work. Okay. So there are a lot of people out there besides myself that needs this type of supplementary income, especially how the way the economy is. We in inflation and all kind of crazy stuff. Food and grocery is going up sky high. Gas is high. They're raising the cost of living and all kind of stuff that's happening. So these type of supplementary income would be beneficial if you are interested in doing it. Because like I say, I do it. Another type of supplementary income after, or they call independent contractor or gig work, is being a content creator. Okay. Now, for those of y'all who don't know about this, right? Once when you gain a certain amount of followers and a certain amount of watch hours, you do qualify for and certain endorsement deals or certain brand deals. Okay, meaning that and I'm gonna explain this in detail, but I'm just give y'all an introduction to this. But many um brands will look at your content due to how many followers that you have, and then want to do like endorsement deals with you, meaning that they want to on your videos they either want to sponsor it by sponsor it, and then how the way they do it is that they want you to advertise their product, goods, or services on your channel since you have a certain amount of followers that qualify for that. Okay, so many content creators, YouTubers, TikTokers, and people who are on Snapchat, Instagram, uh, they all are part of what when I'm talking about. But like I said, I'm gonna go into more detail about that shortly. All right. So let's talk about this new rule that President Biden had just implemented out a couple of days ago. All right. So let me go ahead and share my screen so y'all can see what I'm talking about. All right. So here's the one article one. I pulled this article from FindLoud.com. I pulled this article from FindLoud.com. And this article says it says how new independent contractor rules affect gig workers. Okay. Now the article says this. It says there has always been controversy over classifying independent contractors. Okay. Keep that in mind. There's always been controversy over classifying independent contractors. Independent contractors provide say economic advantage to companies because companies do not have to provide for what benefits, pay minimum wage, or pay overtime hours. Okay. Now, another big advantage about being an independent contractor or a gig worker is that you're not subject to company policies at all. Period. Say, for example, part of a company policy will be that you have to request time, right? You have to request time off, right? That's part of a policy that you have to do. But for us being an independent contractor or a gig worker, you don't have to do that. You have to report your earnings to a W-2. You don't have to do that as an independent contractor or gig worker, but however, you have to report your earnings to a 1099. Okay. So there are different things, different advantages of being a independent contractor or a gig worker. Okay. Another one big advantage of being an independent contractor or a gig worker is that you're not reporting to a boss, period. So you're totally on your own. You set your own hours however way you want to. You can work as much hours as you want to. You don't have to stick to a 40-hour week schedule if you don't want to. You can work 80 hours, 100 hours, however amount of hours that you want to do, you can do it by being an independent contractor or a gig worker. Okay. And you don't have to report to no boss. You don't have to call in to work or anything like that because you are your own boss. Okay. So look, so it also said this slew, by the way, on love my app block. Um, but it also said this: the use of independent contractors are prevalent, especially for workers in the gig economy. Trucking industry has historically used independent contractors for interstate trucking, and Uber and Lyft use independent contractors for their ride services. That may change. The U.S. Department of Labor has set forth a new worker classification to identify those workers who should have employee status due to their economic dependence and therefore receive benefits and protections as an employee. All right. Now, this gives a brief history right here. It says the one DOT proposed a new rule changes in 2022 to prevent the misclassification of workers as independent contractors. Now, during the Trump administration, right, the rules focus on two factors: the degree of the control of the employer has on workers and the extent of the entrepreneur opportunity provided by the work. And the notice of proposal rulemaking issued by the DOL, the new rule will repeal the two-factor test. Now, 2024, the Biden administration released the final ruling changing how to determine independent contractor status under the Fair Labor Standards Act. The rule includes a six-factor economic reality test to determine employees determine employees or independent contractors classification based on economic dependencies. Now, under Trump administration, right, they only did a two-factor test, but now under the Biden administration, they're going to do a six-factor test. Now, this is the test that they're talking about right here, the six-factor test. Okay, the first test is this. It says, what is the worker's opportunity to make profit or loss? Does the independent contractor have managerial skills to dictate their own hours and pay? Do they hire employees or rent office space? Do they advertise or market their services to others? The more workers can show they make decisions about their time, compensation, and work scope, the more they can establish themselves as an independent contractor. So basically, on this first rule, if you can prove that you're self-sufficient on your own, then you could be considered as an independent contractor. Okay. The second one is the worker's investment. It says a worker investment in their enterprise may establish independent contractor status. For example, if the worker rents office space for your work, however, a Uber or a Lyft driver uses their personal vehicle for work, it is not as exclusive investment in the business because they also use it personally. Additionally, if a company makes all the investments for you to work, such as providing a computer and internet line, that may suggest that employer-employee relationship. So let me give y'all an example of what they're talking about. Let's say, for example, that um, a company were to give you certain type of materials for you to do your job. They'll give you a computer. They'll give you a phone. They'll do all these different type of additional beneficial services for you in order for you to do your job. If they do that, then by the rule, they would, instead of you becoming a independent contractor, they will rule you as an employee of a company. Okay, because you have a employer-employee relationship based on this rule. The third one says this: how permanent is the work relationship? One factor they consider is the length and degree of permanency of the work relationship. An independent contractor is more likely to do sporadic or short-term work, and the independent contractor can work for more than one company. If you work for a company exclusively and for the indefinite period, you may be classified as an employee. Like, say, for example, you're working for either Uber or Lyft, right? And instead of you working multiple jobs like Uber, Lyft, and doing all these other services, and for a short period of time, they're saying if you stay with one company such as Uber and you stay there for an indefinite amount of time, then they consider you as an employee. Okay. Same thing as, for example, once again, they classify us as content creators as being independent contractors. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, in the same sense that you stay as being a content creator on YouTube for an indefinite time, they could possibly consider, instead of consider you as being an independent contractor, they could possibly consider you as an employee of YouTube or an employee of Google. Okay. So the fourth one, it says, does the worker control the schedule, compensation, and work? If a company tells a worker when they work and what the pay rate is, they cannot work for another company and require supervision, even by electronic methods. This may lead to classification as an employee. So once again, in the same sense, if Uber or anything like that, they're telling you what your pay rate is going to be. They're telling you that you cannot work for another company, and they saying you require any type of supervision, whether it's light supervision. And the bigger part, just like what I got highlight here, even by electronic methods, this may lead to the classification as an employee. Okay. So once again, if they telling you if you got to work on a certain amount of hours, like some of us who do like DoorDash, whatever, right? The app will pop up saying that, hey, it's busy during this time of day. you should want to, log on to the app and take orders. They do that in an indirect way on DoorDash and all these other type of app-based services. Okay. Now, same thing that's been like content creators, right? Um, Google AdSense or whatever type of services, right? They'll give you a certain type of requirement as well too, even through electronic measures that, hey, if you do this certain type of thing within a certain amount of time, then this is how much you could possibly make. What I mean by this, as you being a content creator, right? If you look at what they call analytics, right? Analytics will give you a matrix, right, to show you a certain time of day where your viewers will be watching your content, where you could potentially make money. Okay. So that's what they potentially talking about. If they doing any type of that type of classification, then you could potentially lose your independent contractor status and become an employee. Okay. Now the fifth one, it says it's the work perform an integral part of the employee or the employer business. Where a worker function is the integral part of the business, they may suggest that a employer-employee relationship. Uber and Lyft are rideshare services companies. Drivers are integral to their companies, so you could argue that drivers are employees instead of independent contractors. A worker who handles social media for the company could be an independent. Here, there's a worker who handles social media for the company could be an independent contractor since promoting social media is not an integral part of rideshare businesses. Okay. Now the sixth one is, and the last one says this: does the worker use specialized skills? Does the worker bring a set of skills to perform the work, or does the company train them? An independent contractor performs work bringing their own skill sets, which they can use in their business for other companies. An employee is dependent on training for skills. Okay. So them are the one different one factors. Okay. Now, um, the Biden administration, they are planning on implementing this new rule. It's scheduled to be implemented on March 11, 2024. Okay. Just to let y'all know. All right. And so these app-based companies such as Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash, they're actually debating against this, okay, against this test and everything. So they're saying the app-based company Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash claim that the new six-factor test does not affect the workers' status of independent contractors. However, if the state laws or federal government classify gig workers as employees, these app-based companies are at risk of paying up to 30% or more than the workforce. Okay. So this may be, if you're looking at it from hindsight, it may be good for workers who are considered as gig workers or independent contractors. And I'm gonna explain to y'all the reason, the benefits from it, how it can be potentially good. It can be potentially good because first of all, you now will have to abide by the company's policies. The company policies, which includes benefits. Okay. Benefits includes paid vacation, PTO, PTO, paid time off, vacations, every other one type of benefits in the company, which also includes medical, dental, 401k, different things like that, because now you're being classified as a worker instead of an independent contractor. Okay. Now, that's the benefits behind it. The bad part about this is that it takes away the independence of being a independent contractor or gig worker. What I mean by that, the times that I went out and either DoorDash or I did grocery delivery services, or even me being as a DJ, right? The best part about doing that as an independent contractor, right, is that I could set my own hours. I could work when I want, where I want. I don't have to report into a boss. I don't have to tell a boss what I'm doing or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to do none of that. Total independent. I could work as much as 120 hours during the week, or I could work just 1 hour and be done with it throughout the whole entire week. It doesn't matter. It just does depends on how I feel in that moment. And that's how it is with independent contractors. Now, a lot of independent contractors that I know of, that's the reason why they no longer work as an employee, because they want that full freedom. They don't want to go into an office where they have to deal with people, dealing with manager, dealing with micromanagement or anything like that. They don't want to deal with that anymore. So they rather just be independent contractors or workers. Another definition of this is being self-employed, okay? Where you essentially is being your own boss. Okay. Now let me go into details about this whole content creator thing, how this law could affect us as content creators. All right. So I gave y'all a little bit of what how the way content creators are being paid, but now I'm going to go into details about this. All right. So there are different ways how content creators can be paid. Okay. The first thing that we're going to want to talk about is through brand deals. Okay. Content creators get paid through brand deals. They get paid through brand deals, which are number one ways content creators make money on social media platforms, accounting for almost 70% of the revenue, according to Goldman Sachs report. Not only creators, brands, and agency orchestrating these deals, the primary platforms also offer their own marketplace solutions to encourage connections and collaborate between brands and eligible creators. YouTube's Brand Connect, previously known as Fanbit, pairs creators and brands for marketing campaigns. However, the video platform recently pivoted the program for a more hands-on approach, where staffers would do personal outreach for preferred partners to self-service models for following a recent tech layoff. Okay. Meanwhile, the reviews of TikTok creator marketplace and Instagram creator marketplace has been mixed, with some creators complaining of low rates of brand deals that wind up worth less than advertised. Creators can negotiate almost triple their rate for working directly with brands versus through the platform marketplace, according to Creator Pay report from hashtag PayMe. In general, the platform are not staffed or set up to be successful directories. In fact, Snapchat is leaning heavily on the agency partners to coordinate a new collab studio program. Influence marketers agency Wow and all these other companies with Snapchat stores and brands to help produce sponsored stories and best spoken creative. Meanwhile, there's a new promising new TikTok program that could potentially have a lucrative solution if it can scale beyond the appropriately 400 creators currently involved. Okay. TikTok has taken on the role of the agency, lessening the friction of brands who need short form creative but lacking in-house resources, while creators are compensated for their production skill versus access to their audience. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm talking about the brand deals first, because this goes back to the rule that I was talking about earlier. I believe it was the fourth rule. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was talking about the fourth rule right here. Where does the worker control the schedule, compensation, and work? Now, if that be the case, if this rule were ruled out that content creators receiving brand deals, right? That means that content creator would no longer be considered as a independent contractor. They'll be considered as an actual worker based on how the way content creators receive brand deals. Okay. Now, the second way is through creators funds. Okay. Now, creator funds became increasingly common on social media platforms during the pandemic, with TikTok being one of the first to introduce it. Other platforms quickly will follow suit, such as Instagram Reels, bonus programs, Snapchat Spotlight, Reward Fund, and Pinterest Creator Fund for underrepresented creators. Um, El Chipo, salute. The idea behind a creators fund is that the platform pays creators for the content they create. based on variety of metrics such as views, likes, favorites, and shares. However, one downside to this model is that as more creators join the platform, the pool of people sharing revenue gets bigger. And guess what? The payout for the individual creators can decrease. On top of that, economic pressures, creator dissatisfaction, and shifting priorities have led many creators' funds to be canceled or modified into other programs such as grants or accelerators. About 73% of creators reported making no income at all from creator funds, according to a 2022 study. Okay. Indeed, TikTok receives criticism for low payouts of its initial creator fund budget to pay out $1 billion over 3 years to eligible creators on the app. Creators reported making pennies for thousands of video views. The program was recently revamped with the introduction of TikTok's creativity program beta. All right. Now, the third way is through ad revenue sharing. Now, ad revenue sharing, this is actually the bread and butter of YouTube content creators. All right, through ad revenue sharing. This is the program where you have to get well, they changed it now. It used to be you had to get at least 1,000 subs, right? And you have to get on 4,000 watch hours, but they changed it to 500 subs. But you still have to get 4,000 watch hours to qualify for the ad revenue sharing on YouTube. Okay. So once when you qualify for the ad revenue sharing on YouTube, basically what it is, um, different ad sponsors is going to want to start doing ad services on your content. Okay, they're gonna pay you for pretty much watch hours and different things like that. That's explain it without all the technical words involved with it. They're pretty much gonna pay you for, the more people who watch your content and they see the ad being placed on your content, the more you are going to like earn money on that. Now they also say that versus the views and stuff as well too, right? Um, for every thousand, let's say for every 1,000 views that you get on one video, right? That totals up to be what, $18, I believe, somewhere around there, hypothetically, right? So for every 1,000 that you get, you earn like $18, whatever, with ad revenue sharing. So this is the reason why a lot of content creators they try to get monetized and stuff because of this program. But let's read the article and go in detail. Now, ad revenue sharing is a rare regarded monetization option and considered as a predictable and sustainable way to make money on social media platform as long as the creator's content is consistently attracting views. YouTube is the leader in the space with the YouTube Partner Program. Um, YouTube Partner Program allows creators to earn a percentage of the revenue generated by ads that pay before, during, or alongside a video. The partner program offers a 55% share of revenue share on a long form video and was suspended to include shorts in 2022. Short form video creators earn 45% of allocated short revenue based on the shares of total views. Not to be left behind, Meta is also doing the same exact way with Reels on Facebook. But throughout my experience, Reels on Facebook is kind of hard to maintain. Let's be honest. Um, Not gonna read all this because it's giving no detail about Facebook and Meta and all that stuff there. Yeah. All right. So the last part is through merchandise and affiliations. Okay. Now, while it accounts for less than 10% of the overall revenue earned, creators can also make money by selling their own merchandise or hawking brand products and services through affiliate links. This is something that I also do as well. I do have several different affiliate links on my channel as well too that I do. One of them is through Amazon. One of them is through Ecamm. Yeah, Amazon Ecamm, far as I know of. But different one creators they do affiliate links to try to earn money as well too. Okay. Um, YouTube on shopping lets eligible creators promote products from their own stores and videos or live streams or from other brands across YouTube's on their video shorts and live streams. TikTok does do the same thing. It's called the TikTok store. Um, TikTok offers two ways to make sales on the app, either through affiliate programs, which pay creators a commission based on sales made in videos or during live streams. Creators can also showcase and sell products directly on TikTok Shop through in-feed videos, lives, and product showcase tab. For its part, Instagram shut down its affiliate, whatever, because who be on Instagram like that? But there are any number of retailers looking to fill that void. Amazon recently rolled out a TikTok lookalike feed on its mobile app called Inspire. Creators enrolled in the Amazon Influencer Program, which this program I am enrolled in, can post to in-app shopping feed, which features photos, videos, and related product recommendation. Influence earn commissions from customer purchase. Also, people can actually do a live show on Amazon as well too, displaying their products in a Amazon store. Those of y'all who didn't know that, okay. Then last but not least, the final part is through tipping. All right, tipping and subscriptions. Now, tipping goes through well, when you have cash apps or whatever stuff, or you encourage people to tip you through your Vimo or wherever you have that. The subscription part that still goes through the YouTube partnership program, where if you get a certain amount of watch hour, you qualify for what they call membership programs. Okay, with on YouTube. Other one programs such as Twitch does this, OnlyFans does this, and Patreon does this as well too. Okay, for tipping in subscription model programs. Okay. So all this that I'm mentioning stuff, right? This I can want to honestly say that all of this, all the stuff for the ad revenue sharing, right? The ad revenue sharing and the brand deals, them are the only two things that as a content creator that I believe we should be concerned about. Okay. Because once again, based on this ruling, once again, right? If any one of these fits into the description of this ruling, right, that they put out, that this administration put out, then you could potentially become a employee instead of a independent contractor. Okay, so let's keep in mind of that. All right. So overall, y'all, I just want to do this stream real quick because I want y'all to be aware of this ruling that the Biden administration have put out for content creators, right, and for independent contractors as well too. Could it affect us as content creators? Possibly, depending. Well, ultimately, it depends on our government, and not only talking about in America, okay, not talking about in other country, but it depends on our government, how the government rule that, right? And also depends on the company itself, okay, depending on what they would do about that as well too, to stay compliant with the government. So, like I say, I wanted to put this out here just to give y'all something to think about. That this is something that is happening. Just like I say, this ruling is going to take effect in March. Okay, just to let y'all know. So, how y'all feel about this? Do y'all feel that this particular thing is going to affect you as a content creator, for as you receiving ad revenue share, especially as a YouTube content creator? Do you agree with this? Do you think that if you end up let's say hypothetically speaking, YouTube end up making you become a employee, right? And if YouTube end up making you become an actual employee through them, or even Google, YouTube or Google, and they'll make you become an employee through them, 9 times out of 10, what's going to happen is that they're going to automatically um, classify you as making minimum wage right off the bat. They're going to classify you as making one minimum wage as the same as restaurant employees, as same as employees who work at hospitality, who do like valet service and stuff. They're going to classify you as a minimum wage worker, meaning that you're a minimum wage worker who have potential to earn additional income through tip services or different services like that. So, do you agree with that? Do you disagree with that? Me personally, I disagree with it a lot because at the end of the day, when you want to be actually at the end of the day, the whole point of being a gig worker or independent contractor is to do things on your own. Same thing as being self-employed. The whole purpose of self-employed is for you to be independent and do your own services on your own, through your own terms, not having the government trying to dictate and control every little thing that you do. Because it's already bad enough they do that right now through taxes and all these other different things, different policies that they got out there. So I personally disagree with this ruling. I honestly believe that the original two factor ruling that the Trump administration put out was very beneficial for gig workers and independent contractors and businesses as well too. But I also noticed this too, that whatever Trump's formal whatever Trump's formal administration right put out there, right, it's like whatever Trump former administration put out there, right, it seemed like the Biden administration just purposely just trying to get rid of it. Even if it benefits everyone, they still purposely trying to get rid of it. And I just noticed that. I noticed that trend lately. I just noticed that. That's why, to be honest with y'all, we talk about politics now. To be honest with y'all, the reason why our economy is the way it is right now is it isn't necessarily because of the Trump administration. It's honestly because of this current administration right now. To be real about it, this Biden administration. To be honest, to be real honest, because this administration, instead of running the office right with logic, right, it seems like they're running their office out of feelings. Okay, I feel like that it should be this. I feel like it should be that. And so now all of us are suffering from this. We suffer from inflation. We suffer from all kind of stuff that we honestly really wasn't suffering from when we was under the Trump administration. Let's be real about it. Now I know some of y'all didn't like former President Trump when he was in office because he, for various reasons, he was very active on social media and doing all these different things, right? Um, he was doing all these different things and stuff, right? So y'all may not like that, but at the end of the day, for us, him being a businessman and know how to deal with the economy of the country, to be honest with you, former President Trump was A1 on it. The company at one point in time, the company got so good where we was all chilling. We wasn't worrying about high price gas or anything like that until the pandemic hit. But other than that, we wasn't worrying about that at all. You know what I'm saying? It was balanced. Where it was balanced on all across all the boards. You know what I'm saying? It was balanced for us normal people out there, blue collar, white collar workers, independent contractors, and things like that. You know what I'm saying? It was balanced out there for us, right? But now, since the administration is gone and we're dealing with this Biden administration, mm-mm, no, sir. All it is feelings and emotions now in this current Biden administration. Is all it is. Is all it is. Period. And so we're suffering from this for real, and we're going to continue to suffer from this until a new administration come about. But then again, even when the administration come about, right? Even when the new administration come about, let's say that Biden don't win this current election, upcoming election, right? And the election and swing it back to the Republicans, right? We still going to have to deal with the Biden administration because these laws are current in effect as of the moment, even when the new president come into play, right? We still gonna have to deal with that probably for the next couple of years until then they'll convert it over to whatever type of policy that they want to do under the new administration. So yeah, so that is something to think about. Glib, you missed out on that. You got to rewind back because I don't feel like repeating it again, bro. but but yeah, Yeah, you gotta rewind it back. But let me go ahead and address some of these chats real quick. We be done with this conversation. All right. Lama Ablock, he said this is Biden. It's his handler of the globalist agenda to destroy private jobs. Yep. Cheapo saying she's listening. Um, um, Lama Ablock says, exactly. I would self-publish book on Amazon. They would come up with something to stop that. Facts, big facts. And I heard that a lot of publishers is suffering from that for real. Said it's a globalist agenda, destroy self-reliance and how the citizens depend on the government. Ultimately, that's what it's boiled down to. Now, Mike pulled up and Mike said this. Mike said Trump was a moron. He fumbled Obama's surgeon economy, which to be personally speaking, I think that is not true at all. Even when former President Obama was in office, the economy was not good. It was not good at all. And that's through my personal perspective. I honestly believe the economy was at its best when former President Trump was in administration, to be honest. Now, for us, his behavior as a president, I could agree that sometimes that he did, it wasn't what it is. I can agree to that. But for us as being a businessman and having that business prowess and running the country, right, especially for us the economics standpoint, right, that administration helped us a whole lot. It really did. It really did. Oh, cheers, salute, welcome, welcome, welcome. And Mikey, he said, "Yep, the economy slowed, and yep, the economy slowed in Trump's first 2 year compared to Obama's last couple of years." Okay, which I did do my research, by the way. That's why I'm talking to you about it. And once again, this something Mike that I want you to think about. Okay, for every president in the administration that's in office, right, and they put out a certain policy, right. That certain type of policy doesn't immediately go away when the new administration comes in. Okay, like say for example, during former President Obama's administration, right, and they set out all these different policies, right, throughout his term. Once when he left office, guess what? Them policies still was active even after he left office, and when Trump's new administration came in. So while these policies are still going, Trump and his administration created new policies, right? So they just can't go in and immediately stop the former policies that's going on through the former administration. They can't do that. They have to go through a process to end up making that former policy end up terminating, so the new policy could be set forth. So that is the reason why when former President Trump entered into office, right, the economy was still stagnant because of the former President Obama. Okay, that's the reason why it was like that. Even after when former President Trump left the office, right, and current President Biden came into the administration, right. Guess what? Former President Trump administration policy was effective then, and so the economy wasn't stagnant; it was still good. But once after when his policy started terminating and stuff, right? And Biden's administration started implementing their policy. Guess what? When it terminated, that's when it started going downhill. That's when we started dealing with inflation and all kind of crazy stuff. And that's facts. That's absolute facts. Um, at Black on follow up said, "That's right. The recession stain in 2008 under Bush. Yeah, that's what it is. See, it's a chain effect. It's a chain effect. There's a reason why we Americans fire him after one term. He was a failure, whether if you want to admit it or not. That venom mandate, Vax was planned under Obama. Mike follow up and said, which is why I said Trump ended up ruin Obama's economy that was growing. He slowed the growth after every year of his term, which that is not true. Because Obama economy was not growing at all. It wasn't growing at all. Through through my perspective, it wasn't growing at all. The economy started going downhill in 2020 prior to Biden taking over. No, the economy start going down. Actually, it started going down way after that. To be honest, then also when former President Trump was in the administration, right? That was during the same time when we entered into the pandemic. Because remember, before the pandemic happened, right? Prior before it hit the United States, right? Former President Trump was announcing to us, right? Former President Trump was announcing to us how the economy was booming. And I believe that was February of 2019, if I'm not mistaken, where former President Trump was announcing how the economy was booming then. Then right after that, that's when we started dealing with this pandemic. Right after that. But yeah, but yeah, but yeah, yeah, Mike, so you don't have to do all the ad hominems, bro. Just like I say, I'm not attacking you or anything like that. I'm just challenging your talking points. You don't have to do all the ad hominems. You want to have a conversation, you do your you can conversate with me just like I'm conversate with you. Yeah, let's be mature. All right. Let's be mature. And Mike, he followed back and said the logic is all screwed up. They said by your own logic, it takes time for policies to take effect, right? Yes, it does. Policy doesn't immediately come into effect. You do understand that, right? They cannot just stop one thing and start something brand new. You do understand that, right? Because the reason why they can't do that is because it's illegal to do that. You do understand that, right? That's the whole point why they have what is known as Congress. Okay, that's the whole purpose why you have to go through Congress. Congress had to approve certain type of policies. They go through a whole section debating whether if they're going to approve this policy or not. Through Congress, through the House of Representatives and everything. They just can't just say, you can't do this. We're not going to do this and just stop it. They cannot do that. They have to vote on it. So yes, it takes a process for that to happen. It takes a process for it to begin. It takes a process for it to end. And that's through basic politics. Now, I'm not no political major and anything like that, but I do understand how laws operate and how the laws operate in the country. And so, no, you can't do that. They just can't say no. They're just like the same logic where people think that the one president had overall power over this country, which that's not true neither. Because we tend to think that we tend to think that since, like, say for example, current President Biden, we think that everything that's happening everything that's happening with the country is President Biden's fault. But President Biden do not control the laws and policy. All he do is sign it into effect. That's all he do. Before us, the creation of the policies that deals with your representative or your local states. That's where it comes from. They go to the House of Representatives. They go and vote on certain laws and regulations. So no, they cannot just up and stop the law that's currently going without them voting for it to happen. So that's why I say it takes a process for it to happen. Okay. But yeah. But Adblock said great content. Appreciate it. And by the way, Mike, appreciate the conversation as well too. Appreciate conversation well too. Do you present some interesting talking points? All right, cool. Um, let's see. So then, why are you giving Trump all the credit? Then I'm not giving Trump all the credit. All I'm saying is that during Trump's previous administration, the economy was way better than any other previous president. So I'm not giving him all the credit of what's happening. I'm just saying through my observation, that's what's going on. It'll be hypocritical for me to say that Trump has the credit for everything, which we know that is not true. Okay, Scorpio, salute, welcome, welcome. Ad Black says this. He says, Mike Love his biting them Democrats, Democrats, and what else? What else we got? What else we got? Yeah, before I end the stream. But no, good conversation though. Good conversation. So Obama doesn't deserve any credit. The economy has grown much more in Obama last couple of years. Be honest with you, once again, to be honest with you, through Obama's administration, I didn't see a lot of economic growth during the Obama administration, to be honest with you. I didn't. All I seen during Obama's administration was a lot of policy dealing with um, how can I put this? Dealing with I gotta put it another way. Dealing with racial issues. Dealing with certain type of racial issues. All right. Like dealing with, African Americans and different things like that, trying to put up certain policies so black African American be included in certain type of policies. Or dealing with lifestyle status, like the LGBTQ community, put in certain put in certain type of protective policies for that type of community. That's why I seen that was on growth. But when it came down to the whole economy itself, I didn't see a increase in that. To be honest with you, be honest with you, I only seen a minimal increase versus the Trump administration, where the whole Trump administration was focused on economic growth and development from all factors. But the Obama administration was solely focused on economic growth. That was only focused on be real about it. That was only focused on making certain people happy. That's what it boils down to. So that's why there's more focus on doing all these apologies for, like, for example, the LGBT community, which I'm not knocking it, but it is what it is. Certain policies for the African American community, which I'm not knocking it, but it is what it is. Certain policies for certain policies for other things as well too. Certain policies were they was trying to make business owners pay way pay like I think way more taxes, something like that. I may be misquoting that, but I believe certain policies would make business owners pay way more taxes than they needed to be. So I'm just saying. Did once again, Mike, he said, as a friend, do your research. You'll be surprised, my man. I appreciate that. Appreciate the advice. You listen to much right wing news now. It makes sense. No, I don't listen to right wing news at all. Period. I don't. I don't look at CNN. I don't look at Fox News. I don't do none of them news outlet because all them type of news outlets promotes a certain type of agenda. So I don't get research from watching them type of channels. Okay, but yeah. And then Mike Fowler said Obama is one of the greatest presidents in the last 40 years. Just facts. That's cool. Yeah, I knock you on that. Um, like I said, Obama helped to bring in heroism. Yeah, that's true. I agree. Stop watching Fox News, which I don't watch Fox News. And you are right. You are absolutely correct because Fox News do misinform people, just like CNN and all the rest of them. So I do agree with you on that. All the one news outlets do misinform people for real. They promote an agenda, so I do agree with you on that. And Mike, he said that the only people that benefit under Trump compared to Obama's were the rich, which that is not true. That's not true. But other than that, y'all, appreciate the conversation. Those of y'all who are tuning in now, if y'all want to hear my hear my perspective about the whole ruling explained about about us being self-employment, about us being considered as yeah, about consider us being independent contractors, what they do, what the new ruling is going to do, and my perspective about that. Make sure you go back to the beginning of the stream and check it out. Where I'm not sure with you the resources that I done found out about it, and I also gave you my perspective about it as well too. Because at the end of the day, I believe this particular ruling is not going to be beneficial at all for independent contractors and people who are considered as self-employed, and also um, it could possibly affect us as content creators, depending on how the way these companies such as YouTube, TikTok, and all these other different company-based programs swing on it. Okay. So other than that, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank you for participating in the chat. Ad Block, appreciate you pulling up. Mike, appreciate your perspective as well too. Um, Glil, appreciate you pulling up. Scorpio Mama. Who else? I believe El Cheapo was in the chat as well too. Cherish in the chat as well too. Thank y'all so much for tuning in as well too. And if you're not subbed up to the channel, by all means, sub up to the channel. This is my first time in 2024 when I'm talking about something dealing with politics. All right, but normally on my channel, I do talk about a lot of red pilled and manosphere type content dealing with relationships and different things like that. So if you're interested in that content, by all means, sub up to this channel, and I'll be doing lives and talk about that and give y'all my perspective. And also, you can go ahead and watch all my own videos. It is on my channel as well too, so I can give you my perspective on all these different type of issues. Okay. So once again, thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll see y'all again on the next episode. Peace out, y'all.